Alright, Mark here again on the third video. We're going to get on to stitching here. Before we do, the point of this is that if you're going to attend Jason's course and you're going to end up hand stitching your products, you probably want to know how to stitch or hand stitch before you get there. You probably want to be more focused on how to make the shoe or the boot instead of stitching. And if you have the DVD, Jason does talk about that hand stitching isn't his forte. And shows his method, but as I've learned from having stitched these and adapting information I got out of The Art of Hand Sewing Leather by Al Stolman, that's from Tandy Leather, is that I use the Saddlestitch. It's a very strong stitch, and Al uses a stitching pony or horse. I don't. I just lay my material flat down and I work on it on a tabletop or something. And so I wanted to show you that method because the way I do it is the needles pretty much don't leave my hands. I don't put them down and fish for things. I think it's a little more efficient. I don't have to back chase threads. Given this the pricking iron angles I showed you, it makes a very uniform stitch. And I'll show you this finished product here. As far as this top section, you've probably seen it before, but those are pretty uniform stitches. I think they look pretty decent, and that's why I'm wanting to show this to you. So the thread I use is a waxed nylon thread from Tandy Leather. They also sell a cord. This is their thread. It's 3-strand. Number 4 harness needles, and here's our thread. And I just wanted to show you how to load this so that you can practice on your own if you want. Because it's waxed, I just give it a little pinch at the end right here, and that helps me get through the eye of this needle. See if we can do this something like here. You can see it start to spread. When it does that, you're starting to lose the wax content. If you are, you can grab some wax. Just pull your thread across it. That'll keep the strands together, and then I'll pull it out again. I'll grab my number 4 harness needle, and well, this one's going to be difficult for me today. So what we'll do is we'll cut the end. If you run into that issue, just cut the end. Let's try again. Somehow we've lost the integrity of the wrap. Oh brother, it's not my day today. We get just enough thread in to be able to grab it and pull through. So there we go. Jason teaches, again, this is relative to Jason Hovader's course through laughingcrow.com, the internal stitch down boot. You need to pierce this thread 3 times with the tip of the needle. The way I do it is form a crease in my finger, and I'm able to pierce the thread once, twice. Again, it's 3-strand. You're not going to catch it in the middle every time. 3 times. I pull it down over, I pull it tight, and pull that tail back, and now this allows the thread to stay secure to the needle when I'm stitching, so I don't lose it and have to worry about rethreading everything. This is a set of quarters I'm working on. And let's see if I can get this prepped and primed to show you how I do this. Now, like I told you, all of my my stitching is done seated, and I don't have a stitching pony or stitching horse. Finished product is on the right side or top side with the right hand, right thread, left side underneath. So I'm pretty much going to hold these two all the time, except when passing through the hole. And the one thing you can do is make sure the holes are big enough when you punch it with your pricking iron that you can get your thread in, or you can see the back side. So from here I can see the hole. I can just stick it through. You can also blindly go from underneath and try and find the hole. But this is the only time I'm letting go of the needle here. I pushed it up, and I'm going to get close to the camera again. And what I do is I come in from the back side like this. I trap the needle that just came up against the back needle, and I pull up with a little jerk motion to get it through the hole. And what I've got here is I'm pulling the thread at an angle that takes advantage of the angle of that pricking iron, that diamond punch hole. The left hand is holding the thread on the back side to give it some tension, so I'm only pulling out enough to give it tension to open that hole. The other needle that's in my hand that came from the right side, I now just insert the tip into the hole right here, and I'm going to give this thread a pull. And as I pull on this thread, if the needle doesn't back out, then I know it's good. I haven't pierced the thread. I can pull through, and we're going to go back down to what this looks like down below. I pull equal tension on both sides, and I've now got a stitch. And again, it gives it this slightly wavy pattern of stitch. So one more time, I'll demonstrate from the bottom. I'm going to come up. I'm going to trap that needle with the needle that was in my right hand to the back side, my thumb to the front side of the needle that came in from the left. I'm going to pull up, and now I'm going to give some tension on this thread to open up that hole, because I'm going to put the tip, that right needle now, on top of the thread. And as I let go, I pull back on this one. The needle doesn't come out, so I push it down. I know I've not pierced the thread. And I'm going to show that for the longer runs of thread, if you find yourself, and I'll let go here because I adjust my glasses, but if you find you've got really long sections of thread and you don't have the wingspan to pull them all out, what you can do with this method is you pull out until you can't go any further, then you come back and you gather the thread up close, and now you've choked up on it and you can pull it tight, and that completes your thread. We'll do this one more time. We'll try it on a blind, trying to find this hole blindly. Maybe we won't. So I pierced the wrong one. There we go. It came up. Okay. And I did let go of this needle, but that's not the point. You should be able to come up without it. Grab it from behind, pull up, and you can see that I'm holding this thread back here. I'm pulling, I'm opening this hole up. I pierce it, or just place it in there because I'm not piercing the thread. I pull back, the needle hasn't backed out, and I can push down, and I can grab it and complete it. If you pierce in this direction the needle that came up from the left side or the thread, you'll know it. It'll back right out. Pull it back, reset everything, because you don't want to pierce this thread. You'll ruin that stitch and the entire run, and you have to back all the threads out, and it's a real pain to do. Anyway, that's what I've got to offer. Good luck on your project, on your internal stitch down boot.